Ladies and gentlemen, boys and girls, what is going on? My name is M1K3 and welcome back to a brand new video here on the channel. In today's video, we're going to be going over why most Fortnite players never really succeed at the game, and how you can be one of the few that actually does. Before we get into that though, I really want to bring back something special: double daily uploads. So, if we can get 1,000 users on code MarinTM, I'll do a full week of double daily uploads. And lastly, let's shoot for 1,500 likes. And with that all being said, let's get into today's episode. The first topic I want to talk about in today's episode is confidence. The reason I want to start this video off with that is because the average skill level in Fortnite is already so incredibly high. So confidence matters a lot more than you might think. But the real question everybody wants the answer to is, how does one become more confident? Because in reality, if you're confident in your own ability to do well in Fortnite and have the fundamentals in place like good aim, building, and editing, the only thing holding you back is you. So here are a few tips on how to be more confident when playing Fortnite tournaments. Tip number 1, stop over-analyzing situations. A lot of players lose their confidence when they're in any given stressful scenario. This can be in a solo cash cup where you get beamed down to 30 health, or in FNCS where your teammates die and you have to clutch up. What is extremely important in these situations is that you don't instantly think, it's over, there is no way I win this. Or, like I know a ton of players do not think, if I die here, my solo cash cup or FNCS is over. I can't place well in this tournament if I die. Having the ability to only think of a single game at a time and fully focusing on that game alone is something I believe a lot of professional players can do. Simply put it, never have the mentality that it's over, however scuffed you might be. Just give it your best shot, no matter how impossible the scenario is. Another massive reason people don't succeed in Fortnite, and also why a lot of players are not confident, is because of their teammates. Being selective in who you choose to be both your duo and trio partners is crucial if you want to make it within competitive Fortnite in 2021. I literally see trios arguing, having a super bad mentality towards each other, and splitting every single day. The worst of all is the trios that straightforward blame each other for their deaths, instead of looking at them as a team. Moving on, we're going to talk about thinking about the game outside of the game. And don't click off the video yet, because hear me out. The greatest players in Fortnite think about games they don't do well in all the time. Whether that be sitting at the dinner table, laying in bed, taking a shower, being in the gym, whatever it may be. Some of the most talented players right now are so obsessed with becoming better that they think about the game even when not playing it. This is also the reason a lot of young players are super good, because even when they're at school, they think about how they can become better at the game. And I know this sounds super cheesy, but if you can implement thinking about the game when you're not actually playing it, and more precisely, think about bad games and how you could have done something differently, you will become a much more successful player. The reason being is that you get to reflect upon your mistakes and improve, even when you're not at the computer. The next topic I want to talk about is excuses, because a lot of Fortnite players that aren't at a very high level seem to make a ton of excuses, and they look at themselves as a victim, often of unluckiness. And they're saying that's the reason they don't perform in tournaments. Nobody likes someone who considers themselves a victim, especially not when it comes to dying in Fortnite. The players that actually succeed in this game are the players who are able to admit when they make a mistake, and understand that there is something to be learned from every death. I want you to ask yourself the question, what do you gain from making an excuse when you die? Really think about it. What do you gain? The answer is nothing. The only thing you get from making an excuse when you die is a limitation on your own skill level. The reason behind this is because you don't think for a second what you could have done differently, but rather that some predetermined unluckiness is the cause of you being a completely mediocre player. And I'm sorry to be the bearer of bad news, but if you keep blaming anything other than yourself for your own deaths, then you won't get very far in this game. So what am I really trying to say here? What I would strongly recommend you guys to adapt into your own improvement journey is being super hard on yourself. When you die, look at everything that went wrong and think about how you could have avoided making those mistakes. Whether that be you missing an edit, missing a shot, or something completely different. Because trust me, if you adapt this mindset, you'll improve at 10 times the speed of someone who blames unluckiness. The last thing I want to talk about in today's episode is something that instantly makes any player better, and that is understanding how to communicate properly in trios. This might be the most boring yet most effective tip I have ever given in any video. But every time you play scrims, tournaments, etc., record those games and see how you communicate with your trio. This is a tip I got from a good friend a long time ago. And recording me and my trio's endgames and listening to our comms made me realize that we need to chill way more. In addition to that, understanding what to communicate and not is a whole skill in itself. For instance, if you get a gold spaz in endgame, there's no need to scream, "I got a gold spaz! I got a gold spaz!" That is just a total unnecessary calm in the endgame. What's also crucial is that you listen to your teammates when they speak. Don't start speaking when your teammate is doing it, of course, unless it's very urgent. Communication is one of the factors that played the biggest role in this season's FNCS. If you look up Edgy's video on how they got second, or Arkham's video on how they got first, you'll see that they not only communicate very clearly, they also let each other speak and very rarely talk over each other. So with that all being said, we're left with the question, what does it take to be in the top 0.1% that makes it within Fortnite? Well, first and foremost, you've got to be confident in your own ability to win. Confidence is one of the biggest factors that makes pro players so great. Secondly, be very thoughtful of who you play with in team events. It's better to play with a slightly worse player than yourself who is willing to learn, rather than someone better than you that has an ego and thinks he's flawless. When those two things are in place, if you can have the ability to reflect upon games outside of the game, you will unarguably become an amazing player and a well-known name within the community. To end it all off, be the player willing to take criticism and learn from your mistakes. If you tick off all these boxes, there is nothing stopping you from doing fantastic. My name is M1K3 Editz. Stay safe and take care.